90% of pitch decks never get past the second slide, meaning investors see this thing and by page two, they're already done with it. Now, I know this because I've sat with over 100 investors in the past, let's say 6 months, and they all tell me the same exact thing. So let's build a pitch deck slide by slide. Yes, you can use AI with this, but I'll tell you exactly how you can use it. What's up, founders? Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Hype the video. It costs you nothing. You see the setup is new. We upgrading. I'm still filling up that bookshelf. All kind of stuff coming in. I'm excited to really break down exactly how you can build a pitch deck because I'm seeing more and more every single day myself, and it's easy to decipher what's good and bad. But I think people are messing up because they're just using AI. Like you're using Claude, ChatGPT. Some people made their own tools to make their pitch deck. But this is the thing, man. All of them will make the same exact deck because it's AI. You take your individuality out of it, your personalization, and that's the thing that you need to really separate you from all the competition out there. The big thing you gotta understand is a pitch deck is not the thing that helps you raise money. An amazing deck doesn't help you raise capital, honestly. It's the thing that gets you in the conversation to raise capital. It doesn't necessarily get you capital. The truth is, investors skim through the deck to get like the basics of the company, to learn more about you as a founder a little bit, and to see what your team looks like. Those are the kind of things they're looking for. By the way, I've set up the complete fundability assessment, which I really built from hundreds of investor conversations. Like this is not from one or two investors, it's from a ton of them across several sectors, which matters because with this free assessment, you get a real understanding of where your company stands, what capital you can raise, and even the specific types of investors you should reach out to. It's completely free. You can check it out. It's down in the description down below. So slide one is about the problem that you are solving. You know this. The key here is to not put a ridiculous amount of text on the screen, right? Don't just have it be hundreds and hundreds of words. That's too much. Have the breakdown of the problem with some copy and then show examples of the problem with images and pictures and stuff. Next is the solution. Be very specific, very clear, no jargon. Don't try to be too, witty or no, don't make it a thing where the investor has to wonder what you're talking about, or don't try to confuse them trying to be too smart. I see a lot of founders do this where they try to get super creative and stuff, and the deck isn't where you do that. It's just not. If I'm looking at a deck, I want it to be straight to the point. I shouldn't have to guess. Next is your market size. I would suggest you don't lean into this too much because every investor knows every founder is going to say their market is massive. What I think you should do here is talk about the part of the market you're specifically targeting and how. That isn't necessarily talking all about your traction, but it shows that you're going in the right direction, right? Because think about it. Any founder can say, yeah, we have a market size of 5 billion. Like everybody says that, quite literally, no matter what industry they're in. They say it. I've seen hundreds of decks in the past month and they all say the same thing. Their market size is billions. Don't do that. Say your market size is X amount, but this is a part of the target market we're focusing on first, and have a specific like one bullet point or star of like, this is how we're connecting with this market. That'll make you stand out. Next is traction. Traction is good because you can show an investor the results you've already gotten with customers, meaning we have these letters of intent, we have X amount of users, we have all of this cash that we generated from the business. All of those show specific traction. You can talk about partnerships, all kind of stuff, but you got to be clear here and be very specific on what you've been doing. I even suggest using logos. If you work with the NBA or whatever, I talked to one founder who worked with the NBA and the WNBA, and she had it on her pitch deck like written out. And it's like, no, you want to have a big ass logo on there to show the investor that you've already started making progress on this, right? And what shows it better than the logos from the companies you've worked with? That is incredible. Then you got to talk about the business model. How do you actually make money? This is one of my personal pet peeves when founders don't do this, because how am I going to invest money into you and your company if I don't know how you make money? Just think about that. You're asking me for millions of dollars so you can grow this company, but you can't tell me how you make money. You can't skip this slide, bro. And again, you don't want to make it too complicated. 2 or 3 bullet points. This is how we work. This is the problem we're solving. You already done that and out to start the slide. So now on the actual business model slide, here are our income streams. We make money in this way, this way. And then maybe there's an income stream you haven't gotten to yet because you need more capital to access it, set up the software, whatever it is. put that on this business model slide. That's perfect. Competition is the next page, and this is big too. Don't be one of those founders like, well, we don't have any competition. Because as soon as an investor hears that, their ears shut off because they know you've done no research. You haven't done the work to raise capital. Even if you don't think you have a very specific, like dialed in competitor who's doing the exact same thing as you should still have two or three, five of them who are in the same realm. Because a signal that this sends to investors, if you don't notice it as a founder, is if you can say confidently and you're telling the truth that there is no competition, that means it's probably not the best business model. It's probably not competition for a reason, meaning other people have tried this kind of company, have tried this business, and it was terrible. So the investor is thinking now, if there's no competition, why do I want to be somebody that's active in this market? There's no competitors. That's not a good idea. Then you can add the slide for your team. Something you don't want to do is have a bunch of advisors, a bunch of people that kind of show you have a messy cap table. That's a bad look. You don't want to lean into that because it might look good to you, like, oh, I have all these people that are helping me out. But when I'm an investor and I look at that, I think, man, have they done any work on a business themselves? Or is this like, how many people are involved here? How many people would I have to get around to just talk to this founder? Like, you don't want that kind of chaos. You want to be very clear. I'm the founder. This is why you should work with me. Here's my co-founder. Here are two, three other people that work on the business with us. Simple, straight to the point. Be clear about what they do, what their occupation is, what their role is within the company. Don't just put their name and stuff. Don't just do that. Put their name, their title, and what they are, what they're responsible for. And maybe if they have an impressive resume, you put where they previously worked. Simple. The ask slide comes after that. When you ask, you have to be very clear about what you're asking for. How much are you asking for? How are you raising that capital? And then I even suggest putting a bullet or two about what you're going to use the capital for, because investors are going to ask you. So having a bullet point like this is for these specific things is perfectly fine. I think some founders don't want to do that because it kind of exposes that they're raising capital for their personal expenses. It's like, I'm going broke working on this company and I need money to survive, so I'm going to raise capital for my startup. If you do that, now the pro move here is the why now slide, is to break down exactly why investors should work with you and why they should do it now, why they shouldn't wait another 6 months. Why do they need to invest in your company now? It's good here if you have like facts, some data, something that has to do with new laws or something like that. Really show why the outside world needs this specific problem solved now. And then why you're the person to do it. And this is the exact kind of thing we cover on the investor briefs within the Next Round newsletter. I put that for free down in the description box down below. Now, in the upgraded version, we have a lot more insight. We do weekly calls with investors, and these are not calls where I just talk to them. You get to come in a conversation, ask questions as well. It's just a massive value add for you as a founder. So make sure you check it out. It's linked down in the description box down below. I would have to say the biggest mistake I see on slide and pitch decks are when founders are trying to add too many words, when they add a bunch of advisors, and when they're just not honest. These are all things that will expose you in some way. Maybe not early on, maybe not immediately, but the investors are going to catch this. When they get to the due diligence phase, everything gets exposed. I don't care if you lost $1 or if you fired somebody, it's all going to come out eventually. So in this phase with the pitch deck, I'm seeing founders now who like manipulate their numbers like ARR and stuff like that. Don't do that. It's better to come in like, here's where we are and this is what the numbers are exactly. Don't over exaggerate. And then talk about how you're going to get them to the next level, which you're already working on doing. See, because when you come in and ask investors for capital, you have to show them that you're already doing work without the capital. The capital can't be the thing that's going to help you get to the next level. You have to already be doing the work, and the capital helps you go faster. So your perspective on venture can't be, well, they're going to save me and give me money and my company is going to be perfectly fine. Not really the way to go. It's better to see venture capital as the thing that's going to help you go faster in terms of what you're already doing. So there you have it. Can you use AI to build your pitch deck? Yes. But I think you have to be very good at prompting. Meaning you need to be very specific on what you want on each slide. And the design is a big deal too, because you can't rely on AI to design everything, because then you're using the same designs that everybody else uses. You all are asking for Claude to design your deck. It's all going to look the same. So how do you then separate yourself? Think about that when you're prompting. It comes down to your branding, the abstract art that you use on there, the pictures, the logos, the colors, all of that stuff comes into play. And oh, one more thing. Do not have your deck be something that is like password protected or something super complicated, or it shouldn't be a massive file where it's like 50 megabytes. That's just overkill, bro. Make it a PDF that investors can go and look at. Keep it simple. I've worked with some founders who do that kind of stuff, and for some, it kind of makes sense, but I argue against it because the more friction you put in front of an investor seeing your deck, the more difficult it is going to be to work with you. That's from the investor's mind. When you're like, oh, well, they have to give me an email or sign an NDA, like, relax. Like, we're not doing that. You don't want to take that path. So before you send your next deck, before you send it out, make sure you complete the free fundability assessment. It's linked down in the description box down below, and join the call. Join the next round community, because then you can actually talk to investors and see where your gaps are, where you can improve, and how you can make some changes that might be necessary. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like the video if you're still here. Comment your startup if you have any specific questions, and I'll see if I can connect you with an investor. I'm Chris. I'll see you next time.